Hey everybody, it's me, Joy here. It's a Sunday. It's May 15, 2022. You know, I know you think I'm not making any videos and you don't see me hardly ever, but I have been making lots of videos. It's just I can't show them to you yet. I've got them all ready to go. I've got them listed on the bulletin board, but I can't show them to you until Viv gets her kitty quilt. And I know not all of you watch me for quilting. A lot of you watch me for sewing. So I thought I would come today and talk about sewing. How about that? Oh my goodness. Life has been hectic lately. Hectic. If I could turn the camera and face it out into the parking lot, you would see two big RVs out there. Yes, Jerry won't sell anything until it's perfect. And one little thing went wrong in the Ventana. Remember I call her Tana Lee? Well, there was some condensation around the water heater. And so Jerry called the company that made the RV and said, hey, I've got this condensation around the water heater. And they said, well, we don't know what it is. Doesn't make any sense. And they said, it must be a leak. That's the only way we can figure out. So Jerry ordered a new water heater for it. Well, it takes forever and ever and ever for things to get here. So finally the water heater got here. Again, another problem down there with NIRBC. It was in, they didn't even tell us it was in. Another thing that upset us last week. So it's in, but now, well, we're going to have to fit you in. It's always we're going to have to fit you in. So we have to wait 2 weeks. Even though the water heater's already been there and has been there for weeks, we have to wait more weeks to get it installed. So meanwhile, we have two RVs outside. And also the water faucet broke in it. Over the kitchen sink, you know, that thing that comes up and goes around like a gooseneck and then you pull it down and it squirts, it broke. So Jerry ordered a brand new one. He's going to put that in himself this afternoon. So when Tana Lee is perfect, then it's going to be sold, and I'm sure it will sell right away. But we just haven't been able to advertise it yet. And so then the other one, our new one, which I call Stardust, what's it waiting for? It's waiting for something also. We took it down there, went around and around, knocked heads with them. I wrote a letter to somebody. I don't know if anybody will care or not care. I'm not going to bore you with all those details. Just suffice it to say, a salesman told me he would do something and he didn't. And what are we waiting for? So it's just always something with an RV, my friends. I gotta quit saying that. I'm sure it will never break again, and it's just going to be perfect from now on. We must say positive things. Didn't we learn that in our devotions? What is it we're waiting for? Something's broken. Oh, I know what it is. Those awnings that you push a button and they come out, 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 and then they give you shade, except it's always so windy, we've never used them. But the motor that brings those out is evidently getting weak and they don't suck completely back in. So they had to order new motors for that. We have to wait for those to come in. So that means 2 more trips down there right away. Trip before we can sell Tana Lee and a trip before we can take a vacation in Stardust. So when those 2 things get off our list, I think Jerry's blood pressure will go down to normal and my nerves, let's call them nerves, my nerves will calm down. And that's, you know, I haven't been sewing because, you know, sometimes we're in Tana Lee, sometimes we're in Stardust, sometimes we're in Louisville, sometimes we're here. And it's, you know, you can't just haul your whole sewing room here, 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 and everywhere. So this time when we came home, we knew we had to wait another 2 weeks for them to get their act together down there and the parts to come in. So I wanted to sew. I wanted to sew. And I got in my closet the other day and I was going to Cracker Barrel to return a dress that I bought. I bought a size large. They don't let you try things on at Cracker Barrel. It's the cutest dress. I just love the dress. It was coral color. Corals and dark corals. And I just loved the dress. It was just a sleeveless top, long dress. And then it had these pleats on the side. And then it had this button on each side with a bow on it. And you could take the button and pull it up and button it into a buttonhole. or into a tab. It was a tab, and then it would pull both sides up. You know, kind of like those sleeves, those 3/4 sleeves that they have those tabs, and you can, yeah. So it was on each side. I loved it. I brought it home, I tried it on. Jerry could have gotten into it with me. It was just huge. I had 4 inches on each side extra. So I thought, yay, I'll go to Sherman's Cracker Barrel and get a medium instead of a large. I took my measuring tape because they don't want you to try anything on. The bust measured too small. The hips measured just at 42. Mine are 42, 41, 42. Just what time of day is it? So I didn't get it. I just had to leave it there. But I went in my closet and I thought, I want a sleeveless shirt. It's hot. I want a sleeveless shirt. So I found a sleeveless shirt I made out of my camping. Remember, I don't know if you can tell by this tiny little picture, but the fabric was all little campers. So I put on my sleeveless blouse. I loved it. So Jerry had to go to Home Depot to look for a pressure washer, and Home Depot is just down the mall from Hobby Lobby. So I said, would you mind dropping me at Hobby Lobby? I need to buy a card for someone. Oh, well, you know how Hobby Lobby sells fabric, right? Well, I went over to their fabric department. All their fabrics that were on sale I didn't like. All the ones that were full price, I found this one. And for some reason, I liked this fabric. I don't even know why I liked it. This is what's left of it. No, that's not really what's left of it. Let me see. This is what's left of it. I'll hold this up and maybe you can tell more about it. Okay, so this is it. I saw this there. So then I thought I would go over to the Kona Cottons and I would look for a solid to make pants or make shorts with. And so I took it over to all their solids and I tried yellow and I tried the dark coral orangey and I tried the grass green and I tried the grayish green and I tried the lime green and I tried everything. I didn't like any of them. So I just forgot about that. Bought some of this. It's all I bought was just this. 2 yards. What do you buy to make a blouse? For a sleeveless blouse, 2 yards is plenty. For one with a sleeve, 2.5 yards. So I came home with it and I went through my stash. Now this is another reason. You know, I try to always let you know the reasons. You must have a very large stash. It is a requirement. I went through my stash and look at what I found to go with this to make a pair of pants. I hope that shows up good. Let me see, there's a lot of that color in it. See, it's kind of a funky green. So it's not very summery green, but it's going to be a summery sleeveless shirt, and this is going to be a pair of slacks. I don't know what this is. I don't know if it's 100% cotton. It's real soft. It's kind of a brushed thing. It looks like a nicer fabric than just a cotton. It's really pretty. And so then I thought, this is so easy to make. I can make this blouse in an hour. You know, the hard part of sewing is getting the pattern right, getting the pattern to fit you. Well, I know this fits me. I just wore it the other day. So I decided instead of making one, I would make 2. So, where's my other piece of fabric? I decided to pull out this piece of fabric from my stash and cut out another sleeveless blouse in that fabric. So I have these 2 all cut out and ready to put together. I would like to put them together on a trip in the RV, but we probably won't be taking one for heaven only knows when, maybe fall by now. So I'm going to go ahead and just whip them up in my sewing room here. But I wanted to show you something. Somebody asked me to show you this, so I'm going to show it to you. They asked me how I make the facing, like on my James Bond dress, where the facing is cut out with the top. It's not sewn on. It's cut out as part of the top and you just fold it. So I'm going to show you how to do that. This is my Surefit Designs Dress Kit. So here, you see, if I didn't have the facing on here, this is what I would be cutting out. Then I would cut out a separate facing and I would have to sew it to the front of the blouse. But what you do is you just put extra fabric and you fold it. Where do you fold it? However far away from center front you need for your buttons and buttonholes. In this case, 5/8 inch. Now I have heard different ways to doing buttonholes. Some people say measure your button and add 1/8 of an inch. I say measure your button and don't add 1/8 of an inch. I don't know what other people say, but I usually leave 5/8 inch extension from center front. Can you see the center front line and the 5/8 inch extension? So you fold your extra fabric on your extension. You fold it, and you just got a great big piece of square fabric, right? And it's just folded. And so then you just trace around your pattern, your facing. You just trace it. Does that make sense? Here's your pattern. You folded this back on it. Now you're going to draw this. You're going to draw this. This is fold. And then you're going to come in 2.5 inches and just 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5 and draw your curve. And then you end up with your pattern like this with your facing already attached. And so when you sew it, you take your material and you fold it backwards like this. This is the fold now on that same line, and you sew this with your sewing machine. And then when you turn it around, you have a finished neckline. Awesome system. Awesome system. I always do it. What about the back neck facing? The back neck facing you draw separately. Here is my back neck facing right there. This is the center front, center back line right there. And I put this line on the fold. It has my sway back, it has my round back. So you remember, I line up the top of the center back and the bottom of the center back on the fold, and from anything in between, we just don't even pay any attention to that. Okay? We place the bottom on the fold, the top on the fold, smooth it all out. You're going to end up with a little more. You're going to end up with a little more fabric right here. Well, my body likes more fabric. Wherever my body can get more fabric, it likes it. So that's not a problem. Okay, so I wanted to give you that one tip. And I won't keep you today, but I did want to tell you that because somebody asked it to me recently. Okay? I don't know what our schedule is for the rest of our life. We want to get in our new Stardust. I call her Stardust. It's a Dutch star, and I named her Stardust because she's the color of dust. So, we love her. We're real excited. We've spent every night since she's been here in it. We just love it. We love the other ones too. I just love the other ones too. But, you know, Jerry wanted this one because instead of having to climb out a window in case of a fire, and jumping down 7.5 feet. This one has a door that opens with a ladder that extends, and so he wanted that. And then he wanted to get rid of the propane and have all electric. So it's his doing. It's been his doing every time. And I know people don't think that. They think, oh my gosh, she's never going to be happy. She's always making him buy a new RV. You would be wrong if that's what you think, my friends. Okay, I'm going to let you go. I just wanted to say hi, I miss you, and I have cute kitty quilt videos all ready to go as soon as Viv receives it. I haven't even mailed it yet. Something happened a real sad thing happened at her daughter's wedding, and her sister actually fell, and she broke her wrist, and so her sister is having to have surgery tomorrow actually, so y'all say a prayer for Carol, will you? And so as soon as she gets back in action, and we know she's okay, and her wrist is fixed and everything. I didn't want Viv to have to be dealing with, I thought, what if somebody in the world decided they were going to make me a quilt? I mean, what if? And what if they just thought I was going to love it, and I just thought I'm not a quilter because I don't like quilts, I don't want a quilt, I think they're boring. And so somebody makes me this quilt, And not only do they make it, they put a hanging pocket on the back, so the quilt needs to be hung. And they put vinyl on it, so, you know, it's going to make it harder to take care of. And then they send it to me, and I think, you know, I really love this person, but I hate this quilt. Now what am I going to do now that they sent it to me? Do these kind of thoughts go through y'all's heads? It goes through my head all the time. And I think, you know, what if somebody went to all that trouble and sent me something like that they spent so much time on, and I didn't like it? Oh. So I want to be sure, and I don't know, Viv, if you're watching this, I just want to be sure that she realizes, you know, use it for a doormat, use it to wrap a watermelon in, use it, make a kite out of it. It's yours. You do whatever you want to with it. See, have you ever had somebody give you a gift and they found out you didn't like it and you gave it away? I have had that happen to me. It was Jerry's mom. And she gave us, do you remember when it was popular, they had those real pretty blankets. They were selling them everywhere, and they were like fuzzy. They were real soft and fuzzy, and they had great big pictures, like they'd have a great big lion, or they'd have great big praying hands, or they'd have great big birds, and they all had a different picture on them. They were huge, huge things. And there were blankets, and they were real coochie and fuzzy and thick and nice. Well, she gave me one once, and it was huge, and it was oranges. It was all oranges and brown, so I don't do orange and I don't do brown. Plus, I already had a green one, and I already had several blue ones, and I didn't need another one. And my brother had just moved into this apartment, and he had a bed, and he didn't have a bedspread. And so I gave him that blanket. Well, she came to my house one time, and she said, "Where's that blanket I gave you?" And I said, "Oh my gosh, I was so excited I had it. I gave it to my little brother as a gift. He got a bed and he didn't have a bedspread." She said, "What? Well, I won't be getting you any presents anymore. I can't believe you gave that away." I went, uh-oh. Oh, I don't know if she ever gave me anything again. I don't feel that way. If what you give someone isn't theirs, if it isn't theirs to do with as they wish, don't give it to them. Don't, or put a tag on it and say, I'm giving this to you to use only if you treasure it and you keep it forever. If you ever get the thought or the idea to give it to someone else, please return it to me and hang that tag on it, see? Okay, my friends, hey, you know what? My channel's doing so bad. It's doing so bad. Would you all do me a favor and give me a thumbs up? Is that what you call a like? Give me a thumbs up. Give me a comment. Let me know if you want me to do more videos, what you would like me to talk about, and I'll try to do more. I can do them in the RV, but I kind of need to know ahead I'm going to be in it. It's like we went there for one day. We went down to the RV Fix-It place for one day. They made the appointment. Be here on this day. So we were there on that day, and they said, "Oh, we're so sorry, we can't get you in. You're going to have to wait till tomorrow." And then they were still not able to do something, so we had to wait till the next day. So every time we go down there, we end up being there 4 or 5 days. And so if I haven't taken a project to talk to you about or to do with you, I just think, well, what's the point of making a video, you know? So I'm going to let you go. I think my husband's done with his Sunday school downstairs, and so I need to help him get that up before we do this one. I love you all. I miss you all. Tell me what you're sewing, and I'll be back when I get back.